Okay. Hi, Mari.
Hi, Tere.
How are you?
Good, thanks. You?
Good as well. Look, I am contacting you right now because I have an enterprise project about the introduction of a certain product or service to the Canadian market. And as you're studying there and living there in Canada, I was wondering if you could help me with this interview.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, some important aspects that you need to consider for this interview is that the topic is the social cultural environment in Canada in general, such as eating habits, like shopping, leisure activities, the role of family and religion, customs, traditions, and other things. I like for giving me an idea of the social customs that I can consider for my project here. So we can start with the questions. Well, when you first arrived to the country, was what was a thing about people's behavior that called most your attention?
That people is really in some way, like they are polite, that they follow the rules, like they respect the transit rules. They they give your space, like it's a safety country. That's the thing that I think it's like, I don't know, like I like from Canada since the moment I arrived here. Like it's a really safety country.
And they are also respectful, right?
Yeah, they're respectful. They're respectful in the way that they like. For example, if they want to tell you something, it's really weird that they touch you, or yeah, they always give you your
Oh,
space.
okay.
Even in the sky train or in the train, they are not like really close to you. So it's different than in Latin America countries.
Oh, okay. Well, at socializing with people, was there something to remark, like something different from talking with other Anglophones? The way they talk or they express themselves?
With another Anglophone country, maybe it's like Canada is more multicultural country, so it's like you can find many people from different cultures, many people that are born here in Canada, but their parents are from another country, so they have like different kind of accents. So yeah, I think in that aspect, it's kind of different from other Anglophone countries because there is more variety of accents. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And were there any eating habits or behavioral rules that were different for you?
I think that here in Canada is like almost all the food that is like cheaper is already done. Like you can buy a lot of food that is freeze and then you just have to put in the microwave. So
Mm,
it's different from the food like homemade like in Ecuador or in Latin America countries because
mhm.
it's like um, in like in the other countries the vegetables and the fruits are like more fresh, and here is like almost everything is like in cans or yeah, it's like already prepared or freeze. So I think that's in some ways like easier to cook, and people is like because we are like always busy and everything, so that's like the cheaper thing that you can like do to save money. But it's not like as healthy as preparing like fresh food, right?
Sure.
So, but it's like it's a lot more expensive, like buying fruits and everything, because here it's like more expensive. Yeah.
And people like share their meals, like they eat all together in a family, or you eat by yourself.
Um. Actually, I don't really know how they eat because as I'm here like I'm not here with my family. I don't really think that I don't know. I don't have a really like a clear idea of how they're like how are how our family is here. But I think that everyone's like by their own because I saw my classmates in school and they just bring food or they buy food in the cafeteria. So they don't really go home and eat there with their families. So they don't really share a lot of time together.
Oh, okay. And while you went out shopping, was there anything different from our country?
I think the difference is that here are more stores.
Oh,
Like
right.
everywhere, like you have more variety of things that you can buy of stores, right? But rather than that, I don't really think that there is like a huge difference. Yeah, because you can go to the mall and there you just find the store that you are looking for. Yeah, so there's no like a really big difference. But I think that the main difference probably is that here is more like applied like the online purchase like habit. Like people do a lot of Amazon. They buy a lot through
On internet.
Amazon or yeah or
Okay.
online websites. Yeah.
And what about the service of the people? Like when you enter a store, they like give you a good service, and that's that thing.
Yeah, they're like people is nice in the place that they are working at because usually they have the training before that. So yeah,
Mm,
it's like, and people here start working like since they are 15 years old, so
they
they
have
got a lot of
experience.
experience through the
Okay.
years. Yeah, through the past of the years. So yeah, they are good in customer service. Yeah.
Okay. And in the matter of leisure activities, like what do you think Canadians tend to spend their free time on?
I think a lot of Canadians like they do exercise. They like I think that's a difference from another countries like I don't know like the U.S. Like here, people love exercise. There, you can see a lot of gyms and a lot of places where you can like. For example, me, I live in Vancouver, so the weather here is not as bad as in other cities in Canada. So, in the parks, you can see like many mm, there's like equipment that you can use to do exercise like
Mm-hmm. The
yeah so
machines.
yeah and people like you can see people like in this outside in the streets running and doing like exercise so yeah people love doing
To do
exercise in here.
exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think, from your experience there, that Canadians put great emphasis on religion, like going to church on Sundays and that things?
Actually I do because here in Canada as I said before there is like it's a multicultural country so that's why there's a lot of different churches for the different religions that people have. There is also like temples for so in that way everyone can go and pray for their God, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for example, I am Catholic and some like every Sunday I go to the church and there's like it's there's a lot of people there. So yeah,
Mm.
I think they put emphasis on that because like of the importance that people put on it. That like many people go to the church and to pray. So yeah,
Oh, okay. And for example, your classmates, like, do you know if they're like religious, or not really?
it depends where are they from. For example, one of my friends is from India, so she really like she believes in her gods
Mm.
and she likes to go to her temple. So it depends. It depends like their familiar background. Yeah.
Oh, and your classmates that are Canadian, like, are
Yeah, they
they
are
religious?
not Canadian. Like not all of them are Canadians. Like for example, I have many classmates from India, from Taiwan, from China, from
Mm.
Thailand, from Korea. Yeah, I have a lot of variety. I also have
Background.
classmates from Mexico, from
Oh.
yeah, from different parts of the world. Yeah.
Okay. And have you been in a situation of a notable cultural difference, like the way they say hello to someone there in Canada is different from other countries, or things that you have like noticed?
I think yeah, like for example, in my country, in Ecuador, we always said like hi when you arrive to some place. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's been polite, but here it's just that people
Don't
they
care.
don't say anything. Like they don't care
Oh,
about that. Like they are polite in some ways, like they respect the transit signs and that, but they don't say hi. Or so probably when I just came here, I thought that they were mad at me or they were angry, but it was not. It was just the way they are. Yeah. So that
oh,
was like a cultural difference because yeah, I am used to like also to say please, to ask for something, and also always say thank you, but people doesn't do that. Do
oh,
not do that. Yeah, here.
and you perceive it like rude, but it's like the way they are. Like for
Mm-hmm.
them is normal. Okay, and anything else that you would like to add? Like, for example, my project is bringing the service of, it's called Autoliv, and it's like rentable cars that are laying on the street and you can pay for them and the car is there, so you just, it's electric cars, and you just like have the key and like drive your car. So we are trying to implement this in Canada. Do you think it will be useful
Mm,
or not?
it depends. Like it depends. For example, in downtown, I don't think it would be really useful because there is no space for parking, or the
Oh,
parking
right.
is like really really expensive. But through the through the like through the way of the SkyTrain, there's like it's really easy to take the SkyTrain, and the SkyTrain goes really fast, and it saves you like a lot of time
Mm.
because of the traffic and everything. But like in the zones that are not close to the SkyTrain, I think it will really work because it's like it's really annoying for people to go like to take many buses just to take to arrive to their jobs. So you could
Sure.
implement. I think you could implement that service like in places that are not close to the SkyTrain or to the yeah or to the downtown, because in downtown everything is like really close to, and there's like a lot of stops of the SkyTrain. Yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay.
think you could implement that like I don't know a little bit further,
In
like
strategic places.
yeah, like not close to the downtown or to the SkyTrain, like yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's it. Like, thank you very much for the interview.
You're welcome.